Hello everyone, this is Guy with Southern Jewelry News, and this is another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. Enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, this is Guy with Southern Jewelry News, and I'm here with Cole Rowland. And Cole and I kind of go back, and we worked at Inox together, and done some shows, been around, and I thought this podcast episode with Cole would be pretty interesting for people out there that work in the jewelry industry, but have dreams of owning their own store and following up with their ambitions and more. And that's what Cole did. Cole,
Yeah, sure did.
like I said, Cole worked at Inox, and we both did shows together, and now you are a jewelry store owner.
Yeah, sure am. Yeah.
And could you tell me about your store and what's the name of the store? Where are you and so forth?
Gotcha. Okay. So Ware's Jewelers in Bradenton, Florida. My wife and I bought the store in January. After working for the previous owner for 2.5-ish years. The plan was always to buy the store from him. Worked with him pretty closely while I was a rep at Inox. He bought Inox, so it was really easy to have a conversation there back and forth. Ran into him at a Punchmark event, which for everybody, I'm sure they know, it's website providers. They do great work. But we were at one of their events, and he sat down and was like, I'm selling my store. And I jokingly said, sell it to me. And he did. He eventually did sell me his jewelry store. So yeah, it's a very quick process. 2.5 years is a lot quicker than most people see. But it comes with a lot of, you have to really understand what's going on behind buying a business. So still working through some stuff. My wife and I are. So it's going well, though. We're excited.
It's going well. It's going well after 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And when everyone heard about what was going to happen for buying a store, we were all excited for you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's awesome, amazing. But it didn't come without challenges.
Yeah, no doubt. Buying a jewelry store is harder than one might think it is. Especially, you got to have communication up front. I mean, communication up front is the biggest thing. And you got to understand what the owner and his family wants from the business. And you also have to understand what you want from the business. Now, my wife is a rock star when it comes to finances and things like that. So she was very well versed on what was necessary through our lawyers and our accountants to get everything situated. I just talk to people. So as far as like the challenges are concerned on that side, she did a really good job, like kind of going through that individually with the lawyers and accountants and things like that. You just want to make it as amicable as you can for both parties. Yes. And as long as you're on the same page, it's great. You just have to understand what everybody is trying to get done, because there's a lot of time invested, there's a lot of money invested, there's a lot of sweat, blood, all that stuff is invested into your jewelry store.
Is there a lot of tears?
Yeah, for sure. But they're good, like it was, it's kind of like when you first buy the store, you're like, oh, like it doesn't really hit you until it's kind of hard to explain when it does hit you, but when it does, you really, really understand that everything you've worked for 10 years in the industry finally happens, and now everything that happens in the store is your fault. Exactly. So you kind of have to figure out how to get through that, but it's a process, that's for sure.
So you said that what needs to happen is you need to have a clear understanding.
Yeah, most definitely.
And going into this, and was there a clear understanding of what was going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, we eventually got to that point. So there's multiple ways there's multiple ways to go through buying a jewelry store. You have a going out of business sale, you have a retirement sale, and then you just have the straight up, like I'll pay you over time or whatever, whatever it is. Ours shifted through the process. Which I think most people experience that. Yeah. And that's why you got to have that line of communication up front, because dollars and cents change based on the way you do your sale. So as long as everybody understands what's happening, then it makes things a lot easier. But a going out of business sale is a going out of business sale. So all the product and merchandise in the store is gone. You restart from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make that easier on the buyer up front, and it makes it better on the seller because they retain more value initially.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot, it just depends on the thought process.
Yeah. Yeah.
From everyone, as long as you make a team decision, it makes things a lot easier.
Good. And did that team decision work out well for the whole team?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think Bob and Cheryl are very happy. Bob's still in the store. He's a bench guy, so he'll never not be in the store, I think.
Where's the store again?
Bradenton, Florida.
And it's Ware's too.
Yeah, south of Tampa. So, I mean, he's been on the bench since he was 18 years old. Yeah. So I don't think he'll ever not be on the bench, Right. And he's a big help to us in the store because it's kind of, you go from, on the retail side where selling Inox on to the vendor side, selling Inox, not concerned about setting diamonds or sizing rings or anything like that. Now it's every day.
Yeah.
So, got to have somebody that does that, and he does that every single 10 hours a week, 10 to 12 hours a week, depending on his thoughts that week. As a retired jeweler, you can kind of work when necessary. So,
got it.
This incredible episode is brought to you by Quality Gold. Are you ready to transform your showcases with more than 800 new styles? Quality Gold presents the Herco Collection featuring 14, 18, 22, and 24 karat gold. Qualified customers can learn about our 30, 60, 90 program at 1-800-354-9833 or visit qualitygold.com.
So for anybody looking at this situation and speaking to someone, maybe someone that works in the industry, and you know someone, maybe you work in the store now, or you knew someone in the industry that was looking to sell, and you guys got it started. What are the tips that you would give to anyone in this situation?
If you're part of a buying group, if you're part of IJO, which is we're at the IJO conference, so it's top of mind. Steven was incredible throughout the process. Edge Retail Academy was incredible throughout the process as well. You have to have outside people looking at your situation, because when it's you and the seller and your family and their families involved, it becomes difficult. I mean, that's just how things are. It's not going to be easy. It's a very, very delicate process, for lack of a better term. So Steven was incredible with the transition, really laid out a bunch of steps for us to follow. And once those steps are followed, it's kind of set in motion. And then if it's stopped by either party, then, obviously you have to have different conversations. But I would point to them as the biggest contributors for it making sense for us. Because if you don't really know what's going on, it's really hard to figure it out without somebody's expertise in the situation. And he's really, really good at it. So
Right. Got it. So have a mentor or have people to trust that lean on.
Sure.
For you, IJO and Steven was a big help. The Edge Retail Academy. Any other tips? I mean, we're going into this, having someone that trusted that can guide you through. That's very important.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably the biggest portion of it is the mentor process, but also as you know, Makayla is a gigantic portion of my life and always has been. So having her helps a bunch too. I would never have bought the store without her. She's very, very good at her job and very, very good at bringing me back down to earth. So I'd say rely on your partner. And if you're doing it by yourself, Godspeed.
I guess buying it together, you guys were saving money.
Yes. Yeah. It's a funny Inox joke. Long term there. But yeah, no, we were. And I think she's a big portion of it. But I also think I've harped on the entire conversation is communication. Everything, your communication with your vendors, communication with your family, communication with us right now. It's the biggest portion of what we do. You really got to communicate.
Yeah. What would you do differently?
It's a good question. I don't know if I...
Is there anything you were like, oh man, I should have thought of that? Or, next time, not that there would be a next time or whatever, but if ever I was in this situation again, absolutely will be doing this thing.
That's a really good question. Nobody's asked me. I don't think I would do a lot differently initially. I would have a better understanding of what the expectations were of us while we were in the store, and what we needed to do in order to make things a little bit more streamlined, I guess, for lack of a better term. And like, we're in a leased property, so I would want, we were talking about making improvements to the store.
Yeah.
But once somebody decides they're going to retire, they're not going to put a ton of money back into the store they're retiring from or selling. So maybe that would have been a better conversation, like figuring out what we would expect it as help to get the store back to, you know, industry standard or whatever that might look like.
Got it. So how long what was the time frame? So you guys discussed, you joked about it at the party.
Right.
And then, you know, bada bing, bada boom.
Pretty much, yeah. So I was still working, obviously, for Inox. And we were getting ready to go to JCK in a couple months, I think is kind of how that lined out. So we did the JCK, and then after that I flew down to, because I was living in Pensacola at the time, flew down to Bradenton. I actually drove to Bradenton and had a conversation with him and stayed for the weekend and kind of worked in the store and kind of saw what I was going to get myself into, right?
Yeah.
And we did that for a weekend. And then basically after that, it was Makayla and I agreed on it. We always wanted to do it. So it was almost a no-brainer for us, especially with the location. Bradenton's, you know, living on the beach is not the worst thing in the world.
Sure.
It's very hot, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So it was initially supposed to be a 3 to 5 year time frame where we worked in the store.
Yeah.
He had never met Makayla like on a personal level. And once you meet her, obviously almost, you know, everybody that's met her understands like her drive and tenacity for things. So she wasn't initially going to work in the store. She was going to slowly work her way in. She worked one Saturday and they hired her full time the next Tuesday. So it went from 5 years to 3 years to 2.5. So again, it's very fluid and it's very dynamic based on the situation. But I think a lot of it, he had a lot of confidence in us as people.
Is that why it
helped?
kind of
I think
accelerated?
I think so. He never has like talked to us about that specifically, but I think he was okay with his store like changing hands to people who picked up on the business quickly, and having the background obviously helps.
Did he open the store?
No, his dad opened it in 1973.
Got it. So long time business. He's second generation.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he wants to make sure that the legacy lives on beyond him and your name, and it's taken care of. His baby is taken care of and in good hands.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's not just like, you know, it's the family baby too. Like it's going from, it used to be a strict watch shop forever. That's how Ware's opened. It was like just did watch repair. And then he realized, oh, we can sell jewelry, you know, and then his dad changed it into a jewelry store. Once Bob took over, his professionalism on the bench really made Ware's where it is now, where he invested in a laser earlier than most people did. He invested in like spending a lot of money making his repair shop make him money. And that's where the store was when we started. And now we're cycling a little bit more toward the sales side, because I'm okay on the bench, but I'm nowhere close to what you need to be. Makayla's a killer at it. She's great. But the store really shifted dramatically in between different generations, and it's kind of cool to see the process of that happen.
Yeah. So now you're an owner.
Yeah.
Jewelry store owner.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And once upon a time, you were in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you are the customer.
Which you guys make fun of me for all the time, which is great. It's very fun.
Great pastime, making fun of Cole. And if anybody knows Makayla, I love the eye roll.
Dude, the eye roll is patented. We were talking about it last night, and you guys did the eye roll like as perfectly as it can be done.
Absolutely. The main thing, one of the main things, is Cole and Makayla. Amazing. I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah.
And what's next, man?
Good question. You're hitting me with all the good questions this morning. So I think the biggest thing for us is continuing to grow our store to a point where we feel comfortable in investing in a second one, or a lot of the people that are in the industry now, if they're retiring, they're all around the same age, and they're starting to understand, like even in our team clinics, we had a couple stores who were like, we're done. Like, I want to be done. Obviously buying an established jewelry store is much cheaper than starting your own. So that's the process that we're looking at now. Obviously that takes, I mean, this is a 5 to 10 year plan. This is not going to happen. I've owned this store for 8 months. But that's where we want to be, but we have to establish our own culture in our own store, and focus on becoming better managers and of people. Because at Inox, man, it was the Wild West. We were just out there, we were just selling jewelry and doing our thing, you know. And
Way to describe.
right. But it was, I mean, but you learn a whole lot in that process. And now, like, things are, you know, at Inox, I joked all the time, and I've said it before, like, when things went wrong, I was just like, that's Sebastian's. Oh, he's got to figure that out.
Now you're the owner.
Yeah, now it's my problem.
And so what are those challenges now as an owner of the store and business? What are some of those things?
Yeah, so we're hearing a lot at this individual show about like the visionary and like the implementer. I'm far from an implementer. I don't.
It's Makayla.
Yeah, of course it is. And everybody knows that. And if anybody knows about us as people, it's very obvious when you meet us both that she's, you know, she's the glue that keeps it together. I just kind of there. Right. Yeah. I just talk. So we're working on, like, even like we only have 4 people in our store, you know, and we still have like an organizational chart. We still have an idea of what our store wants to look like, and then we'll fill roles as we see fit. Right. So the biggest thing for us right now is just establishing culture and figuring that out. Once you get a culture and an understanding and you bring people into that, they're probably going to work harder for you because they actually enjoy being around you. And that's the biggest challenge, I think, right now is establishing that culture and, you know, letting people know we're still in business, because after a going out of business sale, you have to really overcome that for the first couple of years at least.
Are the other 2 people in the store, were they former employees?
Yeah, so
they continued on.
Yeah, so the first person we hired, we hired him 6 months, 7 months into me being there, because the store was super busy when we first got there, and it's still relatively busy for the GOB process after. But he's been there through thick and thin. He's been there when, you know, in the middle of July in Florida when there's 2 people all day, and then December 24th where it's just, you know, 50 people in the store. Right. So learning a lot. He's, you know, he's becoming, it's cool to watch where he came from to where he is now. It's a very cool process to watch someone develop as a salesperson, and just a person too. And then Bob, obviously, is still in the store, and he's our jeweler, looking to add to the team at some point in time. But you gotta mind your P's and Q's when you first start.
P's and Q's, yes, yes. So now do you feel like you have more of a handle, a grasp of being the jewelry store owner?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's, you know, it's very fluid. Like some days I feel like I understand everything and I get all aspects of the business, and I feel great. Like you're in a flow state. You're selling. It's like, you know, at my best Inox pitch ever, right? Like I feel great some days. And then there's some days where like, what did we do? Yeah. You know, like it's, but I feel like even stores are 10 or $15 million a year, whatever they are, I feel like they have those days too.
Yes,
you know, and it's very, very hard to kind of figure out how to bridge that gap and stay confident consistently.
Sure.
But you know, it's a process.
It's a process. Well, you know, I'm really happy for you guys, and I know it is a process, and it was lots of
definitely one.
Lots of new experiences. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest portion of all this. It's like when I first met Makayla, it was like in order to make Inox work, we had to go in with both feet and really like figure this thing out and like try to figure out how to sell jewelry on a men's level that was a lot different than what we were used to. Yeah. And this is kind of the same way too. It's like if you want something, just do it.
Do it.
And it's better than wishing you did.
Yes. Yeah. Don't wish for it. You know, it brings me back to my absolute favorite quote that I've ever heard when I was 16. I don't know who said it. I've researched this many times, but it's those who are afraid of the thorns will never be able to pick the roses.
I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about.
And, you know, people out there, if there's anybody listening and you're like, man, I'd love to be the store owner. I'd love to, you know, I'll be the customer and decide, you know, and buy the diamonds and choose which lines. You can.
Yeah, you really can.
You really can. But you gotta go after. You gotta know it's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be easy. There's gonna be challenges. You think you may have it all figured out, and then something comes out of left field.
And then you gotta. You think you had a great couple months in a row, and then your air conditioner breaks, and then your safe has a problem, and then you need this fixed in the store, and like that's all your problem to deal with, on top of all your customers. But I think the biggest thing that Makayla and I talk about too, a lot of it is just hard work, man. Like there's so many cliches about work, and like you just gotta work hard, it'll pay off, whatever. Like truthfully, in our circumstance, it did. Like we really did work really hard at Inox for a long time, and with Sebastian and you guys like kind of pushing us and giving us the ability to do that, we don't forget that either. And I think you just gotta do it if you want to, man. You
gotta do it.
It's gonna suck some days, but
yes. And I think something you said earlier led me to think that a lot of business owners have something once in a while called imposter syndrome. You feel like, what the hell did I do? I should not be here doing this, and you know, maybe I go get a job.
Sure.
Maybe Inox will take me back.
Yeah. I bet they would.
I think you know somebody.
Yeah, I think I know some guys there.
But yeah, you got to do it. You got to, you know, it's the cliche. Oh, your dream. Blah blah. But still,
they're cliches for a reason.
Yeah, and you can go watch other people. Do it. Yeah. You could follow the owner around at the show or in the store and follow their her instructions, their wishes. You know, get on board with the culture that they create. Yeah. Or you could do it yourself. It is definitely not easy. But you know, it's doable and you can do it. And you put yourself out there in a you know, in a jokingly way, but
yeah, I mean, but we kind of always wanted to do that, and it wasn't like we didn't like seek out the opportunities here and there. It was just that one made a lot of sense because we knew Bob. We knew, I mean, Bradenton's not, you know, engagement ring city by any means, but it's built around a culture of retirees and has good businesses, and it's, you know, it's a very established community. So we knew going there made a lot of sense. And there's a lot of green flags and there's a lot of red flags when it comes to buying things. But I think at the end of the day, like, even if there is a couple red flags, you can work on those. The opportunity is only going to come once or twice, you know, twice if you're super, super lucky. But you don't owe your opportunity anything. But once your opportunity happens, you better work super hard for it, because it can leave and then that's it.
Absolutely. Well, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Absolutely.
And really happy for you guys, as you know. So anybody that is, if there's anybody looking to maybe getting into this process, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would rather have the conversation with you than you kind of go in there blind. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not Stephen Barnes. He has a significant amount more experience in this. Yes, I am. Yes. But I would suggest talking to him first. I would talk to IJO specifically about it, because our transition process is seamless. He's very invested in the next generation process, so he's very good at that. But we're Makayla and I are here for any questions anybody might have too. She's supposed to be here today, but she is not. So here I am talking again. But more than happy to talk with people about it.
Well, anybody listening, make sure you give Cole and Makayla at Ware's Jewelers.
That's right.
Lots of love. Social media. Check out their website. Go buy a diamond. Go make
sure.
Makayla work on the bench.
Yeah, give her something to set. Give her a diamond to set.
There you go. There you go. And check out. Make sure you subscribe to Southern Jewelry News and the Pearls of Wisdom podcast. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you for inviting me.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry podcast. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.